All right, guys, it is day one of practice here on Lake Hartwell. This lake's got a special place in my heart. This is actually where I qualified for the Elite Series, was here on Hartwell. And, 3 years later, it's already been 3 years on the Elites. It's crazy, time flies. We're back here for stop number 4 of the Bassmaster Elite Series. We got 3 days practice, and we got to catch them this week. We are not sitting good in points. This is by far the worst year I've ever had on the Elites. It's by far the worst start to a year I've ever had back home, like just since I started fishing tournaments. So we got to dig ourselves out of this hole. I think we're in like 60 something in points right now. We're outside of the classic cut. So we need to catch them this week. We need a top 10. That's the goal. The goal's to win. Every time we put the boat in on day one of practice, the goal is to practice to try and win a tournament. And yeah, looking forward to it. This is it's going to be interesting to see how the fishing is, what they're doing, what the deal is going to be. I'm sure there's going to be a lot going on between the herring spawn. Probably some herring spawn going on. There's going to be some spawning going on. There should be some bass on beds. Lake Hartwell's a cool lake. You can kind of do a little bit of everything. You can fish your shanks. So looking forward to it. And welcome to episode 4 of practice here in Anderson, South Carolina on Lake Hartwell. It's going to be a fun week. I'm staying at my buddy Willie's place. My dad and brother are coming down on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. And then after the tournament, we're going to go to the Outer Banks. We're going to Merle's Inlet to do some shark fishing. So it's going to be a fun week as a whole. But right now, we got to focus on the task at hand, and that is to try and locate and find the section of the lake where I think has the potential to do really good. So looking forward to getting out and follow along. Hopefully we can figure them out today and build on it throughout practice and have a good derb this week on Lake Hartwell. Like I said, we need it. We're not sitting good in points, so we got to find them this week. Get some casting rods going. Fluke. So, no big ones yet. I've seen a couple I know are bass that look like better than average. Out here, 3-pounders are gold. Typically it takes around 14 to get a check. And if you can figure out a way to catch 17 plus, you're laughing. So we got to figure out how to get some better than average bites. This is actually where I caught them in the open 4 years ago. Those are the ones we need. Just weigh her quick. Like I was saying earlier, 3-pounders are pretty gold. $288. I usually never weigh them, but I just want to see what we can catch today. Oh, smokes. No, I've caught one 288, and that was by far the biggest fish I've caught.
Yeah, I'm fishing no nothing bank. I'm catching a few decent ones.
Spots?
Yeah, like 250s.
Yeah. What's it
Maybe
gonna?
1.3, but that's a good one, dude. A 250 to a 280 has got to be a big one.
Yeah, like what's it gonna take for a check?
Like, I think 12 and a half a day.
Really?
Ever.
Usually it's like 13 and a half, isn't it?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I caught one 288, and then another 2.5, and then the rest were really small. So I don't know what's gonna be good. I have no idea.
14 a day will be pretty good. You know what I mean?
Just caught another
Right?
rat. What's that?
Same here.
That's a 2.5. Looked like a fry garter.
Fishing shallow?
That was in 12 or 15 feet.
Are you by the dam?
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Well, kinda. Down that way anyway. The boat right there. Don't really matter, it was random. Three-pounder. On a stump. That one was a 280. There's about 6 of them there, that's why I stuck one. Those are pretty gold. I'll start shaking them. Fishing for spots the whole entire practice. I've just decided. 270. I've got 14.25 pounds today. I've been weighing them. I usually never weigh them, but spots are so deceiving. I think if you can catch 14.5 a day, you'll have a pretty good tournament. Kind of in survival mode, so I got to make sure I at least cash a check. Just got to find which section of the lake has the bags. All right, guys, it is day 2 of practice. Yesterday we had actually weighed them all. I think that's the first time I've ever weighed my fish in practice. But I just want to get an idea of, you know, how big these spots weigh. There's a big difference between a 250 and a 290. So we had 1430 something yesterday. And I honestly think if you can do that 2 days in a row, you're going to be fishing Saturday. And if you do that 3 days in a row, you could have a pretty good tournament. Obviously, we want to do better than that. We got to figure out a way to catch some big largemouths. So we're going to do some different stuff today. We're going to try and find some more areas with some good spots. You know, those 270s to 3-pounders are gold out here. If you can figure out a way to catch 15 to 16 a day of spots, you'll have a really good tournament. If you can figure out to catch 15-ish of spots and have a couple big largies mixed in, you'll be in the top 10. That's my guess. My guess for the cut to fish semifinal Saturday this week is 13 3/4 a day to get in the 50 cut. And then my guess for the top 10 is 15.5 a day. I could be way off, but that's kind of my guess. It's a lot harder. You know, to do 15.5 a day for 3 days out here on Hartwell, I feel like is a task. It don't sound like much, but I mean, it could be, I'm gonna say 16 a day for the top 10. That's my guess, but we're gonna run around today, fish a lot of stuff. We're gonna run and gun, we're gonna fish a lot of points. At some point I might even go look for some spawners, fish some docks, figure out how to get some big largemouth bites. But that spotted bass deal that I'm doing, I feel like it's something I can just put my head down and do in the tournament. I know what to look for. They're getting on, you know, all the better than average ones, like those 270s to 3-pounders seem to be on any stick up, any piece of wood. Has to be small though. You know, there's schools of spotted bass on them bigger brush piles, but I find the bigger singles are on like little stick ups, small little brush piles, little stumps and things like that. So I feel like that's something I can just run around and find in the tournament. There's quite a bit of it out here. And so that's kind of the game plan today, just to run around, try and figure out a couple more deals, whether it be, again, spawners, try and get some bites on docks. And I really want to find a herring spawn on some of these main lake points. That can be fun, and that's a deal that if you can get on something like that, you can catch them in a hurry. Probably burn a full tank of gas today, put 4 hours on the Merc, and just see as much of the lake as we can. This is a big lake. It's not a very big lake. It is big. It just makes it feel a lot bigger because there's so many points, so many cuts, so many creek arms, islands. There's a lot of water to fish, so that's the goal today, is just to run around and see as much as we can. And we got to find an area with bigger than average fish. That's the goal today. could be a better one, boys. Striper. Sometimes the bass will get in there with the stripers. Giant largemouth. There's a couple of them too, a few of them. It's like a 6-pounder at least. Maybe not that big, but it's big. It's a big one. There's a few down there too. Just off of Main Lake Point there. I fished that point with a topwater. And I came around, I saw some dots on bottom. Those are the kicker fish you need right there. Holy smokes. There's like 5 of them down there. That's good. Kind of random, but holy big striper with them. That can't be a bass. Came up on this shoal and I saw some big spots. Like 3 to 4 pounders. Probably up there spawning. And on that shoal over there, I caught my biggest fish yesterday. Up on a shoal. So, we're gonna look at some shoals. Definitely up here spawning. 3-pounder. Those are gold. What's going on, guys? That is a wrap for practice here on Lake Hartwell. We didn't film much today because my GoPro stopped working, where the charging port goes in the GoPro got wet. It was raining in the morning and it completely fried my GoPro, so didn't really get anything on film, but we didn't really catch anything, so we didn't have much to show you guys anyway. Overall practice was not good. We had one pretty good day, but we had a big largemouth mixed in that was super random. That being said, we're getting some bites, but it is so key to get those bigger than average bites, like those 3s, 3 1/4s, 3 1/2 is a big one. So if we can figure out a way to catch a few of those a day, I think we'll be all right. But really looking forward to this event. I love Lake Hartwell. Like I was saying, it's got a special place in my heart. This is where we qualified for the Elite Series 3 years ago, and we are back for stop number 4 of the 2025 season. We need to catch them. We need to get good points, get back in that classic cut, and get out of this slump we're in. But not sure what to expect tomorrow, but looking forward to getting out. And stay tuned for the full film, which will be coming out shortly after this one, to see how it all goes down, and hopefully we can crack them. We got to catch those again, 3 to 3.5 pounders. Those are gold. So hopefully we can make it happen tomorrow. Looking forward to getting out. Thank you guys for following along the practice videos. And again, we'll see you at the full film, which will be coming out about a week after this one. So we'll see you guys shortly.